Okay, folks, starting a new one here. Now, what I have here is a 10 across, 8 down, 10 inches, 8 inches. And I put some oxide red on it to get a nice warm background, and that will help feed through the finished painting. So what I have here is some mineral spirits and some liquid, what's that called? Liquid fine detail. Right, on my colours, which will show up on screen, and my palette, and let's get ready. Now I'm going to start with putting the darks down first. Okay, now this isn't an ordinary brush. This is a Rosemary & Co. Long Flat Series 279, but it is a bit beaten up. Okay, so some mineral spirits to begin with, get it nice and juicy. Okay, some detail, liquid fine detail, and then some phthalo green just along here, some oxide red. Get ourselves in some nice darks to begin with. So let's see, put in a horizon along here. Simple, easy, and there we go. Put that horizon in. Now let's create a base of our tree and maybe a wee hedge over here. Most of this will be done from memory, or from imagination I should say. Now is that where I want it now? That's fine. So it is. Okay. Now, whenever I say this is done from imagination, what that really means is that I have spent the morning or the afternoon looking at things. You know, just spent the morning looking at photographs and pictures and saw this and I saw that. Let me just get some black into this. A little bit of heat, a little bit of oxide red. Too much oxide red. A little bit of blue. Just getting my darks in along here. First, dancing that brush around, folks. Nice, creating just the idea of things to begin with. All right, so let me see. Now, I'm sure you can see already the idea of some sort of landscape is developing. So let's get this going, or get some yellow. And I probably will have to dip into my yellow and get some more. Creating a nice green here, just along here to begin with. Get this all danced about, folks. Get that canvas covered. And don't be afraid to dance it around in order to create some textures. In fact, what I'll do, just for the sake of creating some texture, I'll lift a little bit of it off. So just a little bit of it, and get that. All right. And then I can come along whenever it's dried and glaze it. So put a little bit of that green in the sky too. Just up in here. All right. That'll help dull the sky down a bit and create some harmony. So let me see here. I will have to get out some more yellow. So I will. Just getting the idea of where I'm going to place my water here. All right, okay. So let's going to work on the sky here. So I is, and let me see now. Let me see what to do. Bum bada bum bada bum bum bum. Okay now. No, I need to get some yellow out. This is just the artist color, cadmium yellow from Jackson's. So all I'm doing here is just going to lay down a nice lemony yellow type color here, and I'm just going to play here. So getting this yellow down, get some white down, get some of this detail in it, and I'm going to put a little bit of the background into it, a little bit of this will help grey it down a touch. And let me see, just along here. Now you have to remember, folks, that this is a background painting, and I will be coming along a bit later to, I'm going to scumble this on. I'll be coming along a bit later to go over this. That's very good. That's nice now. Just creating the idea of a nice sky here. Now it's a bit off color for me. So it is a bit off color. Not exactly where I want it to be at the memento. Let me see now. Okay, so just thinking out loud here a moment, folks. Just going to create some patches in it. All right, okay. Now, let's create a thing for it here, folks. I'm going to put on some cloud here. And all I'm doing here is creating the outline of the cloud, and then I will cover it mostly with a velvety, lovely, warm, velvety color. I'm kind of trying to think at the same time and work at the same time here. It's not always easy, folks, to try and think about what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Probably not the best thing to be unsure of, but you know what I mean. All right, let me see here. Nice warm colorations here, just to keep with the existing tone. Right, so let me see. Now, let's get in this cloud that I'm on about here. Now, nice. It'll look velvet, but it's kind of like a grey raw umber here. A little bit of blue in it, cerulean blue. That's kind of it. I'll put a little bit of red in it, not much though. And a little bit of that. Let me see what this. Ah, that's nice. Now that's nice. Just going to lay it in carefully here. I don't want to be going completely over those edges. Look at that. Now, to you that looks a bit velvety, but it is an orange grey. And that's good, that's what I'm after. A little bit darker at the base. I'll use the blue to bring that down a bit. Maybe a little bit of the raw umber, just to bring it down a touch. A little bit of the red. This is the one down here to do the job down here, a little bit darker. You see that across there, and you see him here now. Ah, that's nice now. Okay. Just trying my best to get that worked up into it. Very good, very good. I'm making that a bit of a gradient along there. Yeah, I mean, I've started that sky completely wrong. I don't like that sky at all. Anywho's, I'm going to keep the color on that. I'm going to keep the color on that brush. I like that. I'm not going to mess around with this too much. I'm going to create a little bit of a distant mountain here. And it's just going to be a bit of a blue-grey here. All right, just putting this in here just for the time being. I'll see whether I want to keep it or not. I probably will, you know. It gives a sense of distance the things are happening way off over there. It gives a sense of a story, you know. What is, and the idea is like for you to go, what is over there? Who lives there? That type of thing, you know. Who lives there and who's doing what there? But I need to sort this sky out. It's throwing me off. It's too yellow. I'm going to get a bit of a slightly rougher brush here and just work in a bit of a creamier color than what I have down there. Just not happy with that at all. I'm going to use this orange that I have here just to knock it back a bit. Let me see. Yeah, I think. I don't know. No, that's not yellow enough. So now here we are, folks, and in one of those situations where there's a balance to be met. And I'm trying my best to meet this balance. All right, that's a bit, yes, that's more like it, so it is. Happier, folks, I'm happier. Not entirely happy, but I am happier. Okay. And I think I'm going to make myself happy now because I think that is just about right. Yes, nice and bright, yeah, a bit better, a bit happier, indeed. Indeed. Very good. It's funny that, isn't it? How you can tell just through experience if it's kind of not what you want. It's not exactly where you want it. Okay, now you see how that changes everything. This isn't as blue as I want it now. Isn't as valid as I want it now. So this is where the game of balance is played. So I'm going to sort out the edges of this cloud first before I do anything else. Give myself a nice red to go around the edges. Nice orange more than a red. Okay. I'm just placing it in and then I'll work it in with a dry brush. That's more like it. And then once I do this, I will get the let me just talk to myself here. Once I get this, I'll get the clouds blued up a bit more blue in them, a bit more valid in them. And then I'll be able to work everything in together. All right, okay, let's see now. Okay, so let's see where we is. Right, now. Now back to this cloud color. A little bit more blue in it than I've had. And that's the ultramarine blue I'm putting down there. So let me see, is that too dark? Ooh, if it is, it's only just. If it is, it's only just. So let me see. And it's a bit too dark. I'll check it with this down here. You know what, it's not too bad, folks. It's not too bad. So it isn't. But remember, underpainting is what this is. And that, whenever I keep reminding myself, this is an underpainting, that means to myself, I can say to myself, oh right, I have another chance to come along and have a go at it. Have a fix at it. That's what that means to me. It keeps reminding myself that this isn't the finished product. Because whenever you're moving from alla prima, doing alla prima work, getting it all done in one go, I keep having to remind myself that this isn't alla prima, that I have another chance. I can take my time with it. I can come back to it tomorrow and fix it up. You see, alla prima gives you Alla prima gives the impression that you just have to fix it in one go. It just all has to be done in one go. But most of the times, that's really not the case. Most artists will get their job done and then come back and fix it, alla prima or not. They'll come back and do it whenever it suits, you know. And then they'll claim it's alla prima, which is entirely up to them. So this is a dry brush, and I'm just softening the edges here, and then wiping the brush, and then back again. Just wiping off what came from it there, and just back again. There we go. Happy enough with this now. Really, the initial sky that I put down did properly throw me there a little bit. I was like, it's just not right. It just isn't. But then I fixed it, and now it's more right than what it was. So now I want to check my tree here. I think maybe just getting a bit overzealous with the paint. And a nice wide tree here. Ish. Wade tree ish. Okay. Let's see him over here. Alright, so let's work this back in again now. Give myself a nice dark here. Some phthalo green, oxide red. Phthalo green and oxide red, just in here. Look at that. Now, so if you're going to do it this way, just keep remembering that you have chances to come back and fix it. That's very important, because it's how you're framing that to yourself means that you're not panicking about, oh my goodness, I've messed it up. No, you just come back the following day when it's dry and you fix it up. Simple as that. And you try not to let that get to you. So easy too, so easy to think, oh, you've ruined it, it's gone, that's it, done. Nothing can be done about it now, it's over. And then you in a tantrum, you throw it all away. You know, when that just isn't the case. Anyway, I find myself talking a bit too much here, so I'm just going to concentrate a little bit on my work here. And a little bit more heat in this one. I like to have them different, not all the same, you know. A little bit more heat in the tops of this one. There we go. That's good stuff. Very nice. There we go. Now we're getting ourselves some sense of a landscape here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to soften the edges a bit. Just a bit. If I can find my... There we go. Just around here. Just get that to go into the sky. I'm not going to do too much because I have a feeling I'm going to come back tomorrow and really fix the sky up a bit better. Although I'm not too unhappy with it at the minute, I must say. But just softening the edges of this. That's nice. There we go. Just find myself a bit of a shape on this tree is all. Just a bit of a shape. Right, okay. Now I'm going to work on this on the grasses here. Find myself a nice dark-ish color here. So let me see. Remember, now, the background is still somewhat wet. So I'm going to just use that to my advantage. Just get this covered. There we go. Now, this here, folks, the way that it's being laid down is actually nice, and it leaves it a nice texture. So I'm going to gently soften it just a bit, not much. I'm going to see here. I want to get this water here in, or the idea of the water in. In fact, what I'll do, folks, is I will put the water in now. Okay, so here we go. Now let's get this water in. A little bit of yellow, and I just desaturated a touch. Get this violet. Yellow can help desaturate here's an idea on the color wheel. Okay, I'll do it here. On the color wheel, you know your yellows and your reds and your greens and whatnot. If you go to the opposite, there's the yellow up here, say for toxic, or more precisely up here, and then you'll have your violets down here and your reds and along here, right? So if you don't want to desaturate it too much, the idea for desaturation is you get the opposite, and that will desaturate it. But if you don't want to desaturate it too much, go a little bit to either side of it on the color wheel. Go for a blue, not a very strong blue here. That'll help desaturate a yellow, or not a very strong purple violet here will help desaturate a green. You know, play around with it. I hope I made sense. I don't think that sounded as if it made sense. Not to me, it didn't. Anyway, I hope it did. Okay, anywho's. You know, that explanation I don't think made sense. And anyway, I'm sure you are clever enough to figure some stuff out yourselves. I hope anyway. I hope you are. Let's get all this to working together. Don't be afraid of paint. The idea that, you know, paint comes along and muddies everything up, it does. But you wipe it off if you're not happy with it. That's something that isn't taught enough, I must say. I'll genuinely say that isn't taught. The idea that you just come along, and once you've done it, it's like, oh, it's done, can't do nothing about it. No, wipe it off. That's important, that you're aware of that. The concept of, it's not set in stone. You just need to wipe the damn thing off. Okay. I don't know, I'm ranting today, I feel like I'm on a rant. Anyway. Right, let me just wipe this to give myself a bit of a cleaner cleaner canvas here. After everything I just said, give myself a cleaner canvas so as not to muddy the colors up. Anyway, let me see. Is this, yeah, a little bit redder? All right, look at that. You can almost see that developing now. So you can, that's a nice, it's a nice strip of water here for the time being, at least. I think I think I'll just brighten it a little bit here and there for now. Just laying this down. Okay. Now hopefully you can see this. There we go. Too much, but overall an easy fix. Let's just work it in. Just work it in, folks. The paint underneath it is already wet, so it'll easily work in. There we go. There we go for now, anywho's. That's nice. Blending in nicely. All right, okay. Now, let me see, where am I? All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some grasses. And where's my brush? I want a nice openly splayed old brush to do this. And this one here will do. Just an old brush. Again, series 279. And I'm just going to get me some grasses, folks. Now I'm going to be putting them on thick, and then I'm going to blend them in. That type of thing. You know, like so. And when I say put them on thick, they're lighter in tone than what they're going to end up being. That's because they'll be blended in. So that's the point of this. A little bit lighter in tone. You can see that there popping up now. And once I get them blended, you will see them, but only just. I'm just looking for the one direction, and they're almost blending as I talk. Just here. Look at that. Lovely. Very nice now, very nice. Now, let's do the same thing with a bit of dark. Bring the darks up into it. Here. Okay. Nice warm darks, but a bit of black there, a bit of oxide red. Put a bit of coolness in it as well. Now, a little bit of, what do you call that there? Liquid fine detail. Okay, now same again. Putting the darks in, see that? Look. Just placing them in. And the same over here. Just placing it in. Up along the edges here. And then just working it in. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of distant water in it along here. That's what I think I'm going to do. So let me just see this here. Okay, I'm just thinking here, folks. I just want something to slightly break this up a bit. All right, let me just think about what I'm doing. Give me a bit of a sharpish brush for now. Okay. And if I don't like it, I'll take it out tomorrow whenever it's dried. So, let's see. I'm just putting the idea of it in here at the minute, so yeah. Okay. I'm unsure. I'm unsure, folks. So yeah. No, at least for now. We'll try it for now. I'll see how I feel about it in the morning. But it does give the impression that there's something off in the distance. So it does. Or at least I think it does. And I hope it does. Yeah, okay. And let me just see here. This edge here needs slightly darkened. Slightly. I'll use a small brush here to do that. Just a small old beat up brush. Just to darken this edge a bit. Alright, okay. What I will do actually is just the slightest lighten area here and there. Let me just see here. Just patches being caught, you know. Some light being caught, but do you know what? I think I'm going to leave it until it is dried, and then I'll scumble on any later thing. Yeah, I think I don't want to be ruining anything as it sits. But what I will do is I'll just work a little tiny bit on that on the sky again, using this here, just forming a little bit more of the thing here, a little bit more of this cloud here. Let me see, okay. Again, I just go through brushes, so I do. I just go through them. That's a lot. But I don't mind it, so I don't. I complain about it, but I don't mind it. That's not bad. There we go. Just trying to keep nice soft edges. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's soften that up a touch now. All right. Now. I think I'll put down a nice, this is for tomorrow, whenever it's dried up a bit. This is just so that I can come over it. Now it's not going to look the best, but this is really just for to give me something to work on tomorrow whenever it's dried. And that's all this is for here. Okay. I'll just work that in a little touch, and I think then I maybe call that a night until until it's dried, either tomorrow or the day after. I think so. Right, folks. I'll see you all whenever this is dried. So, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon enough. And bye for now. All right, folks. Back to this one now. Isn't too much to do on this one. A little bit here and there, but overall not too much. I'm going to lighten the sky a tiny bit in the center. There is still a fair amount to do, so I'm not going to... Oh, a bit of darkness on my palette, which I shall wipe off. I don't want that contaminating anything. And what I'll be using today... Hold on a second, I just found the brush that I need to fix up. Alright, so what I'll be using today is just liquid fine detail. And then my colours. So let's get me a nice yellowy center here for this lighter part of the sky. I'm going to be scumbling this on. Now I'm taking most of it off the brush and just seeing here. Now it needs to be a bit brighter than that still. So wipe a little bit off the brush. And let's see here. A little bit more. Okay. A little bit of liquid now just to help that along. And I'm just going to now put in a brighter patch. Just being careful now, not covering up too many things. And just working that out to the edges until the edges soften. So it just looks like an overall brighter patch. Look at that. Just a little bit, barely noticeable. That's nice. And that is, excuse me, that is exactly the way I want it to be. Now, let's work on the middle part here. Let's see. Again, not too much on the brush. Just checking to see if this is the right tone, and I think it is the right tone, but a little bit redder, a little bit darker, just by the cadmium red, just a little bit warmer. Okay. All right, okay. Let me see now. Just this here I'm not keen on, so I'm going to work this in to what's there. A little bit yellower, tiny bit. There's very little on the brush here, folks. Very little on it. More of a. These are all scumbling acts. So there's very little on the brush. I'm just scraping the color onto it. All right, okay. Just checking this other side over here. And the same again, actually. I'm going to bring the sky down into this cloud a bit. Just a bit. All right. Coming along rightly. A nice bright center part here. Again, not too much on the brush. Just here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I think that is the right color here, the right tone. I'm going to spread it out a bit and then redo it. Just going to lighten the center of this here. Just spread this round a bit. Just so that it gives it that glowing effect is what I'm after. Okay. And then redo it. Put a nice bright one right in the center here. Alright, hi. I think that's nice. And the same with the water here. I'm not going to do too much with the water. Maybe just brighten it up here and there. Let me see. It's not too bad. Just work this in. I want to create an edge there. Yeah, it's a bit too much for me. I'm going to take a little bit off. Okay, a bit better. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to fix up the edge of this tree here. It's almost dead on as it is. So it is almost dead on as it is. I'm just going to warm the edges of it a little bit. Make it look as if the sun is shining directly through them. Give them a nice warm glow. Let me see, maybe a bit darker than that. But too bright, I think. So good bit on the brush and then taking it off, really scraping it off the brush. All I'm after is just the idea of scumbling all of this on. Of course, I'll be bringing the tree up to meet it. So the darker branches up to meet this area along here. Oh, that's nice now. Coming along. All right. Nice warm edges. And then that's do what I said I was going to do and bring it up to meet it. Okay, same again now. Nice and darkish. Boom. And then taking a good bit off the brush. A little bit of ultramarine blue there, and then taking a good bit off the brush and just working this up here. Creating nice jaggedy edges of the tree. Okay. Now, all right. Nearly there, folks. Getting there, little bits at a time. Yeah, I think that has come along nicely. So I'll do. All right, now a few brighter patches here and there in the tree. Just give the sense that, you know, some light is shining through, and I will put in some more holes in a little bit later. And the same over here now. Now I want a cool one over here, so a little bit of cerulean blue and some phthalo green. This should be a nice dark green over here, but cool. Yeah, you're not going to see that on the camera. You'll see it on the photograph, but you won't see it so much on the camera. Nice and cool over here. Right, now let's get this area of water sorted out here. So nice and sharp. I've got a nice flat brush here, cheap one. Nothing, don't know what even the name of it. So okay, now just shallowing this off a little bit, making it a little bit shallower than what I had it. Okay. It's not bad at all now, so it isn't. It's not bad at all. I think I'm going to use this to put in the tree trunks. Just up here, boom. Actually, no. No, I'm not going to use that at all. Not at all. Now we'll use just a wee round brush, wee Da Vinci round brush. Nice and gentle now. Don't need to rush this. I think I'll use a little bit of spirits just to help with the viscosity a little touch. Oops, getting that on me. Okay. Being careful, folks. I don't want to overdo it. It's so easy to overdo these things. I think that one of your main struggles doing a little bit of painting is genuinely just knowing when to stop. And hopefully it won't take you too long to learn. All right, that will do me for there. So it will now. Just need to check. I'll bring in a little jutting bit of water here. Just sort of can throw in a few grass stain or a few grass things along here. Look at this. Just want to bring this out a touch. There we go. And maybe bring one out on the other side. All right, now a little bit darker certain areas. Nice and warm because the light is really hitting it here. Now, I'm just messing about at the minute. I'm just playing. I will use better things for things. See, like so. Just add a little bit of movement in it, a little bit of life in it. Some up along here and having it come out to here. Trying to create a roughness to it all. So, what do I think about being done? I think I'm going to gently lighten this area up here. That's the slightest of lightnings. It's going to be a glaze. I suppose more of a scumble. It's hard to glaze a part lighter, but I'm doing it now. It's not impossible. Scumbling is normally for lightening, and glazing is normally for toning and darkening a piece. You see now, there's a little bit of a, I would say that you could call that, if you want to be pedantic, you could call that a combination of the two. A little bit of scumbling with a little bit of glazing. It's nice. Okay, now that's giving me a nice, but a little bit of light in the tree, and I think that may be it, but I'm unsure. Let me see, a little bit of light in the tree, and then we'll see where we stand. You can't see that. All right. Okay, I don't want to be going too far. So what do I think? a little bit more brightness in the water, and then like a little as if a real bright spot, you know, as if the light is just hitting it, and there's a little bit of a ripple on it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, a little bit here. Oops. A little bit here. It's not bad. No, it's not bad. You can just come down here a little bit. Yeah, okay. So now, what do I think overall? This here, the light is hitting this the wrong way, and I can't see it properly. This corner bit here. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to knock it back a little bit. Knock it back a little bit in here, and then scumble the edges of it a little bit, just to create that sense of softness. All right, okay, and then I will just. Oops, it is dropping the cloth. I'll just create a little bit of a valet thing here to put some light through it. Let me see now. Bit too dark, a little bit brighter. I was unsure which one to dip into there, but I ended up dipping into the spirits. A little bit more viscosity. All right, okay, folks. There we go, a nice little sunset for you. And I think I'm done. I'm not sure. Just give me a moment here. I want to have a wee look at this one over here. I think I'm going to scumble this a little bit of a different shape. Just to have it coming a bit above this time. Breaking the line of that cloud. Yeah, that's not bad now. I'm breaking the line of that cloud. I didn't like the way it was meeting the edge of it, so I didn't. No, that's not bad at all now. Where's the brush here? Let me see. Yeah, for me that's a bit better. Okay. And now, just to finish it off, a little bit of light in the water, in the far back water here. Let me see, not all of it, just some of it, as if it's sparkling here and there. There we go. That'll do it. Very nice. Now, that's disastrous. How did I end up doing that? That's not very nice. That's not very nice at all. That's a bit better. Just create a few, the idea of some grasses, or I think what was there was just more of a noise. Right, for some reason I'm reluctant to leave this one, and I don't know why. I keep telling myself I'm done, and then I'll look at it and am I done? And I don't know, folks. I think I'm going to call it done, but I have a feeling I may be back. But anyway, at least for now, it's done. So let's assume that it's complete, that it's finished. So, what I'll say is, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. So, bye for now.